MATT+FIONA is a social enterprise that empowers young people to shape their built environments. We do that through a series of processes of workshops, hand-on live build exercises and engagement with wider communities. Our work is broadly divided into three areas. We describe them as build, learn and connect. So build is at the heart of what we do, and it's a process that engages young people as custodians of parts of their city to brief, design and build, and then ultimately go on to operate and live in the spaces or use the spaces that they've created.
We recognise that young people are experts on their world and they know their needs best. They also have incredible imaginations, so when it comes to the design, it's full of innovation and that's where the newness and the wonder really comes about.
The reason that the Bartlett wanted to embark on the project, Design Unlimited, Renew, with the MATT+FIONA group is so that we can introduce young people at a very early stage to the idea of the built environment. That's, in simple terms, that's what it is. Just introduce them to it, let them know that the built environment exists and is available to them. And then through that, they have the knowledge, they have the know-how, we can then build on the skill set and start connecting the things that they do within the MATT+FIONA project, connecting it to their everyday life, to their real life, and knowing that their school, the parks they play in, their everyday life has some kind of connection with the built environment. And I believe that this is what they're learning when they attend the workshop. I do feel like there's a lasting connection that's made when the young people will remember those build days, workshops away from their everyday. And I believe that the MATT+FIONA group does this well through the feedback and evaluation that we've received from schools and from the young people themselves, doing something different. They enjoy that, it sticks with them and they remember that, and that's what we want to do.
The aim of Learn is to be able to share what we've learned through this process with others, in particular with teachers. So often we are approached by many schools who want to undertake builds. So we really want to train the trainer and give teachers the confidence to be able to lead ambitious build projects where their students can be transforming parts of the school environment, creating dens, creating outdoor classrooms, enabling students to feel full ownership of their school environment.
And we empower them to deliver many of the programs and processes that we do, and to share those throughout the school development of young people, so from primary all the way through to secondary.
We aim to fill a gap that we see in the school curriculum. Oral, sitting, reading, writing, and the visual is often given priority over kinesthetic, haptic learning, doing, failing, succeeding, and we think it's really important that young people get to learn in a variety of ways.
So when you get to your table, everybody is going to pick a figure.
From being a teacher and then working in kind of learning roles in museums, you quickly get a sense that children and young people aren't invited to have a voice. And we talk about it a lot in culture, that we're going to give children a platform to do that, but without actually ever doing it. The value in projects like this, the MATT+FIONA Run, and that I've been part of over the last, 7 years, is these are opportunities that aren't every day. They should be every day. And in school, as best they try, teachers don't have the time or space to free up those opportunities for children to think differently and to imagine. If they've created spaces, if they've designed spaces for themselves and young people, those are the kind of things that they'll want to hold on to in the future.
So what have we got left? So MATT+FIONA Connect is about broadening our reach, but most importantly about influencing those who shape our built environments. It's about engaging with those professionals, whether it's developers, placemakers or local authorities, unitary authorities, to make the processes of engagement with young people and their communities meaningful and purposeful in a way where the questions that are asked of them have real impact in the shaping of the designs that are being considered and being developed.
It's been really heartening over the last few years to see the growth of engagement with communities, but too often, sadly, young people's voices are not brought to the table, and so Connect provides both the connection but also the skills in terms of that engagement to ensure that those young people's voices are heard.
Well done.
And you're kind of let along.
The projects that we're working on are extremely complex, and we're facing these multiple complex crises, and I think to engage meaningfully in communities we have to acknowledge that our communities are so broad, so diverse, and one individual or group within that community will have a certain view as to how we need to get from where we are today through the crisis to a more sustainable, equitable future. For the individuals who are participating in supporting the delivery of the initiatives, my personal opinion is that in projects, sometimes this meaningful engagement with communities and the diversity of the communities within which we're working is seen as something that's really quite complex to do, and it's seen as such to sort of get pushed to the outside. And I think the work that MATT+FIONA does and the experience that our staff have supporting those activities is a really useful tool and process for them to understand how we can more meaningfully engage with, design for those communities that we're working in. I think young people specifically have a real role to play in this because they are the future custodians of our built environment, but with our role and work at the Happel Foundation, we also hope that they are the future shapers of the built environment. We hope that many of them will be intrigued and inspired by the sector, but also specifically to engage with tackling those crises and those challenges that we face, whether it's climate, whether it's inclusivity, whether it's equity.